Do you feel humiliated? Good. Tell me what you desire, and I will give it to you. In return, you will become my sword, unquestioning and unyielding.
Alright, hey, what's up, guys? So we got Ervalen here. I'm a little late to the party on this video, I know, but I'm here. I'm here now. So, let's check him out. Health imprint there, Thief Scorpio, so he's like biking, Violet. Good stat line from what I remember. Let's go ahead and skip forward and check out the stat line. Wherever that's going to be. There it is. So, we got Boy here. He's got some bonus crit. He's got a nice attack stat. Tongue-tied. A nice attack stat. He's got a good amount of HP, a good amount of speed. Of course, he's got low defense because he's a thief. He's got the bonus crit. He's got a concentration, which gives him more crit, which is also very nice. So, very nice base stats. Scorpio is like, I want to say like the second best when it comes to thieves, with Leo, of course, being the best when it comes to just doing flat out damage. I think Scorpio is the second best for that. So let's get to his abilities. So we got Heir to the Throne here. This is his skill 3. Attacks the enemy with a sword, adopting a counter-attacking stance, so that's a buff. Granting a stance and granting a barrier to the caster for 2 turns. So he gets a barrier and a counterattack buff. Counterattack buff is like what Kikigrat has, similar. When the enemy's max health is greater than the caster's max health, the damage dealt increases proportional to the difference up to a maximum of 60%. Barrier strength increases proportional to caster's attack. So the more attack he has, the bigger his barrier is. You know how all that works. So this is a new kind of scaling that they're introducing to the game that they don't... I don't think any other unit has this kind of scaling to where, like, if the enemy unit has more HP than them, then they do more damage. And it's percentage based. I was just looking at the mods, and it's 0.9% more damage for every percent that the enemy has more than you. So, and it's up to a maximum of 60. So if I were to do quick math in my head, I would tell you I'm not going to do that, but I'll attempt. Okay, I'm not a mathematician here, but so like 10. If they have 10% more health than you, then you will do 9% more damage based on the scaling. To get up to 60, it's not even like an even, like it's not a number that ends in 0. So you figure 5 times 9, so 50%, that would be 45% more damage. And then 60% more health would be, what, 54? So it would be somewhere between 70 and 60% health where you'll be doing max damage. So it's around like 66 or so, like health difference. It's somewhere in there is where you'll be getting the max benefit from this particular part of the scaling. If you're at 1% and they're at 100%, you're not going to do any more damage than if you're at, what would it be, like 34% and they're at 100%. It's going to be the same there. So, yeah. Not that it really matters. It's another way to introduce scaling. It's pretty nice, but it makes it him interesting to be, you know, you could build him interesting ways. Because he's going to do more damage when they have more health. So it's kind of weird because, like, he's got a nice health stat. So you can build him kind of bruisery. He's got a built-in counter set, so you can really stack his stats. I don't think you'll necessarily want him to get low health. But in situations where you have like a revive buff, like with Chloe, and he comes back to health, he's going to be doing max damage off of that revive. So that's something to consider. Or if you're using him with somebody like Shooting Star Arcades, and you give him that immortal buff and he stays low health. This has a 4-turn cooldown. Yeah, you get an immortal buff on him, and you're free from dispels. He's going to be hitting really hard. So, yeah, let's move forward here. They kind of demonstrated it a little bit. Soul Burn increases the duration of his buffs. So that hit pretty hard. It was on a defense break, though, so. And then he countered. Counters with a defense break, too. So we have a skill 2 here. Attacks the enemy repeatedly and grants the caster immunity for 1 turn. Immunity is always nice, right? It's got a 2-turn cooldown, which is also really nice. When the enemy's max health is greater than the caster's max health, combat readiness of the caster increases proportional to the difference up to a maximum of 30%. It's another quirky thing, right? I'm not sure exactly how this scaling is. I'm going to pull up the modifiers. I'll probably do that at the end, but I kind of want to see how this interaction works. I don't think it's like, it says when the max health is greater. So, you know, if you're thinking like he's got 10,000 health and FCC has 30,000, right? That would be the difference. I don't know where that scaling lies. But basically what this tells me is you want him to have a low max health so that he always gets the maximum benefit of this combat readiness push. So, just have to see what that threshold is, right? So we'll check this ability out. Yeah, see, like there, he gained quite a big chunk. And then we have a defense break on his skill 1. I believe it's a 50% chance. Yeah, maxed out's 50, which is pretty nice. 2-turn defense break, 50% chance. Pretty good. You know, it could be a 90%. It would still be a 50-50, so might as well just write what everyone assumed it's going to be as 50-50. And then we have his artifact here. Double-edged, decrescent, I guess? I've never seen that word before in my life, if I'm being honest. Let's look at maxed. After attacking with a single attack, increases caster's attack by 10% with 30% chance to silence enemy for 1 turn. This is good. It's a really good, like this is additive with attack buff because it just says increases attack. It's, you know, it's the same amount of attack you would gain from like Violet Talisman. So if you were to slap an attack buff on that, it'd be 80% attack. You know, slap it with a greater attack. I believe greater is 75, right? So 105. I could be wrong about the amount of greater. I don't remember. But I know 50 is from regular attack. So effectively, like, you get 80 here, which is nice. You won't... They're additive, not multiplicative, if that's the right way to say that word. So you won't get the 30%, and then that value won't get 50% more. It's just gonna add together. So you're just gonna get 80%. So yeah, that's nice. And then a chance to silence too. Yeah, a defense break and a silence on a counter unit. That doesn't need a counter set. It's pretty good, if you ask me. The only issue I have with the guy is that he's another fucking earth unit. Excuse my French. But I'm tired of getting earth units that are good. Like where are the water units, the ice units, and the, you know? Like we got the little mouse chick or whatever, and she's alright, but yeah, I kind of want some more viable ice units, so we stop seeing the same ones over and over again. We have plenty of good earth units in the meta, I think. Let me know what you guys think. So yeah, let's see if we can figure out exactly how this thing works. How are you going to build him? Probably to do good damage. You could build him like a nuker. I really hate how he crosses his legs there. That bothers me. It's another trap, I guess. But yeah, with these stats, you can get his health pool pretty high. I mean, it's the same as Violet, right? So you could see Violets out there, like green Violets, that easily have 14, 15k HP and still do decent damage. It's kind of the same thing with him. You don't have to get as much crit, especially if you imprint him, because he's got the free crit there, which is really nice. Makes it easier to run a crit damage neck and then fill out the crit with your subs, maybe a crit set. But I think you're going to want immunity. Granted, he gives himself immunity, which is really nice as well. So, yeah, I think, like, I tend to lead towards building everything as Bruiser for the main part. I don't think, like counters, like, built into his kit, so I just don't think that's necessary. I think grab what speed you can from a speed set, and then maybe run attack boots. He would benefit, I probably think he would benefit from a flat defense stat on main. I'll actually pull up Epic 7 and show you guys how I think I would build him. Similar to like how my Rylot is built now. He won't hit stupid hard, but he's not going to get one shot. And he'll get some counters off, and with his artifact, he'll get some silences off, land some defense breaks, and win in a longer RTA match instead of, you know, trying to end it super quick. Because it seems like what the meta is now, you kind of need, unless you have absurd speed gear on all your units, knights or king. So bring in this lowly little thief in there to try and, like, I know they show him killing a Ruel there, but how many Ruels are you going to reliably see defense broken, right? Let's go back to that. They showcased it, what, here? With Tamsaria. Yeah, so I could see a nice area, defense breaking a Ruel, but this is not a realistic RTA draft, let's be honest. For Arena, sure, why not? But this is not viable in RTA. Not in a million years. Could be. Maybe. If you have crazy speed gear on these. But I don't think you're going to see let me know if you guys ever see Tamsaria in RTA. But, yeah, I'm going to bring up his mods real quick. So the barrier strength is 120% of his attack, so getting high attack is good. The skill 2 is, I'm just going to round that up. So it is percentage based. It's not like I was talking about earlier, you know, 10k compared to 30k. So if he has less health, like if he took a hit or something, he'll gain more CR off of his S2. It's got a low cooldown, which is nice. Helps cover up like him not having super high speed because you get free R, you know, in a 2-turn cooldown. That's not bad. But yeah, it says up to max of 30. So if we were to round this up to 0.5, that's a 60% health difference. So if they're at 100%, you're at 40%. You'll get that max CR. I'm assuming that's how that works. Not bad. Giving himself a barrier is pretty nice too. Not bad. You could even run him with something like Wind Rider, to be honest. Nuking something and giving yourself a barrier, it's going to be hard to knock him out of that barrier. So there's definitely some interesting stuff you could do with this guy. But I'll go ahead and pull up my Epic 7 here. And let me... okay, well, I guess it just it froze on my screen over here, but let me get out of here. And let's go look at my Violet. He's 6-star Awakened. And I'll just give an example on how I would build this dude. He's a Scorpio. I guess we can use Viking as well. Let's just do Violet. He's really just holding stuff right now. I only use him in like normal raid 1 time a week. I don't really use this dude anymore. But the way I would build him, I would definitely use... I think a flat main stat would help a lot. So, like, I have these boots on my Rylot. I wish they weren't crit set, but, you know, it is what it is. And then I would shoot for high defense because you want him to survive to the point where he can actually land some counters, right? So, he grants himself immunity. I would prefer to have immunity on him, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. At least for the gear that I have. I would like to have immunity on him, but I just don't have the proper gear right now. So I'm going to build him without an immunity set, just to kind of show you how, but I would still prefer the immunity set. So basically I would just throw my Rylot gear on him, to be honest. So like a Hell Raid weapon to make up for crit, right? And then, yeah. I don't know if I would use this, maybe. This rolled really low. But essentially it would just be like my Rylot's gear, to be honest. I don't even know what his chest piece looks like. Yeah, it's just a lot of crit, making up for the crit. And then I'm using an HP ring, actually, on my Rylot. So, if I were to just throw my Rylot's gear on him, he would look like this. I don't think this defense is high enough. My Rylot has way more defense than this, with the same gear. But yeah, bonus crit that you get here. So maybe I would look for like a chest piece that has more defense on it. But flat stats are really king. Like, you're not going to get much from, you know, a defensive set. So, let me see what I got here. So I still want crit. Like, I want, like, the ideal chess piece, I think, would be the health, defense, crit damage. So, I don't think I have anything, something like this maybe, but something rolled better. His health is stupid high. So yeah, maybe a tankier ring. But I don't think he needs this much health, to be honest. Because you want high attack for a high barrier. So maybe running 2 defensive main stats isn't you know, what you should do. Maybe you should run maybe just 1. And then like go with attack. And maybe something like this. I mean, he's decently bulky. You get a lot more EHP from your barrier if you have a higher defense stat. So I would think pushing a flat defense main stat is worth it on this guy, just because you're going to get so much EHP from his own barrier. But at this speed, you have to also assume that you're going to live until your turn to where you can get your counter buff up. So I could see people wanting to build him super fast. Sure. Maybe with a bit lower health. I could see that. But yeah, lower health, higher defense. But he's got a really high base health. Like, I don't have much in health subs here, right? I have like 16 here. I guess I got a 20 there. But yeah, you can. This is kind of how I'm thinking. You know, the 180 speed range, so you can go like after buffers, right? I don't know. Like after your strip unit, if you have an AoE defense break. Like this is kind of like the speed tuning. Like, speed tuning really just matters on what kind of units you use and where they're speed tuned at, right? So speed tuning, I think it's subjective at this point in the game, depending on where you're at. With all the other units that you use, you want to make sure he goes after your attack buffers, after your strippers, after your defense breaker. So if like I had a really beefy Clurry at like 195 speed, he would be great right here to follow up on it. You know, he's out of range of RNG, not much stuff is there to cut between it. Clurry will go after, you know, potential, you know, Maid Chloe, whatever the fuck you're fighting, you know, anything that would put up any kind of buff, you could strip it off. Somewhere around there. Typically those are, you know, 200, 210, something like that, from what I remember. I haven't done much RTA lately, but, you know, I'm just going off what I remember from before. I don't think much has changed. Still knights everywhere, right? So that's just my thoughts on him. I think he's a decent unit, to be honest. Like I'm just kind of sad that he's Earth, because, you know, I have so many Earth units built with Heavy Mola, as you can see here. Like, I have Celine 14, Violet 14, Charles 15, Euphine 15, Alencia 13, who I intend on making 15. So yeah, I have a lot of green units built. So getting more green units is kind of sad, especially after we just got a limited green unit in Landy, who apparently sucks. And then you got Muoy here, who I never bothered to build, because this is when I kind of started dwindling down on the game. So I kept pulling things and just kind of stopped building them. But yeah. Little sneak peek teaser at the end here. My buddy is basically rearing to go. Gotta get this last awakening. I finally maxed out his level. Here he is. Let me guys let me know if you want me to build him in a video. I'll do that. Go follow me on Twitch. I'm probably gonna stream some Abyss malding here soon. So if you haven't followed me on Twitch, go do that. If you haven't liked this video yet, what the fuck? Just hit the like button. It's free. If you haven't subbed yet, what the fuck? Just hit the sub button. It's free. Doesn't cost you anything. If you do want to spend money, you can hit the join button. You get a couple little perks. It'll tell you what they are. I'll shout you out in the video. Speaking of which, I need to shout out my most recent one. So let's do that, actually. Christopher Chong, thanks for the support, man. I really appreciate it. And you got the Warby level, which is awesome. I believe you hit me up on Discord after you subbed that, and I talked to you for a bit. Really appreciate it. So yeah, with that being said, thanks for the support, guys. Thank everybody on this list. You guys are all awesome. yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.
Fuck.